Hi, I'm Alex Jules, and you're watching Atheist Edge.
Hey, welcome back to Atheist Edge. I'm Jim. I'm here today with kind of a legend in the local atheist community, James Hardwick. Thank you for coming on the show.
And thank you for having me.
All right. So James, as far as I know, is probably the oldest active atheist in this city. So I wanted to ask you first off, what did the atheism landscape look like in the early days?
Well, the first atheist meeting that I went to was just a very few people, and it was being held in a stairwell. They didn't have a building to meet in.
Where was that?
It was in Arlington at one of the apartment complexes.
Okay. About what time? What time was that? What year?
Probably 10, 15 years ago. I'm not exactly sure.
Oh, okay. So it was after 2000.
Yeah.
It was after 9/11.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And prior to that, have you always been an atheist?
I was raised in a very fundamentalist Christian home, but I had problems when I was being taken to Sunday school, and some of the things in the Bible disturbed me a great deal, like Abraham, God telling Abraham to sacrifice his son.
Oh, Abraham and Isaac?
Yeah.
That story was one of the first things that got you thinking about, hey, this might not be.
Yeah, I thought, Lord, if God tells my dad to sacrifice me, and that was scary.
Right.
And I did a lot of Bible study. I read the Bible, and I couldn't get through the complete book of Genesis without becoming an atheist. I just
Without becoming an atheist?
Yeah.
About how old were you then?
Probably 9, 10 years old.
So you've been an atheist your entire life?
Yeah.
Was it in the, now you enlisted in the Navy illegally at the age of 17, right?
Well, 15.
15, that's right. So you were, and the legal age to enlist back then was still 18, right? Or 17 maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
They would allow you to enlist at 17 if you had parental consent.
And you lied about your age?
I said that I did not have a birth certificate, but I had school records, and the school principal signed a phony school record for me to go, and my parents were happy to get rid of me.
You were World War II?
Yeah.
Yeah.
World War II, and then I was recalled for Korean War.
For the Korean War. And was it, of course, you had no God belief at this time during periods in combat where
I never got to combat.
Oh, okay.
I really felt like that I wanted to be join in and become a hero, but I never got in combat at all. I was in the Korea combat zone and got discount from pay, got that extra pay.
Right, imminent danger and combat
area,
pay, right.
But I never got shot at.
Right, right. You were in a hostile area. You were in
Yeah.
imminent danger zone.
Yeah.
Did it ever occur? You always have you ever heard the old saying, "There's no atheist in foxholes"?
Yes. Actually, I answered that with there's no draft dodgers in foxholes.
That's good. Yeah. Did you ever feel like you never at any point felt like? Did you ever question your atheism? Did you ever toy with the idea that you could be wrong?
No, not really.
Right. And has society, looking at society back then and society now, how are atheists treated? Better or worse than in the past?
I think much better, but there wasn't a lot of atheists that was out of the closet. Madeline Murray O'Hare was only one I knew, and she was in Austin. And
People kept it to themselves more back then.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and they. I think right now we're more accepted as human beings. When I was in the Navy, when I was going in, I was asked what my religion was, and I said I have no religion, and that upset them quite a bit. And they said, "Well, what are you, a damned heathen?" So I thought, well, hell, I'm not a heathen, so put me down as Protestant. But it was just that the way they put that to me, it's hard to just keep saying that I'm an atheist.
That's what it said on your dog tags as Protestant.
Yeah.
If you were to enlist, say right now, do it all over again, would you be more, now that agnostic, atheist, all these are now added to the codes for the dog tags, you'd be more apt to?
Absolutely, yeah. It was just, I guess that I was the only one in the bunch that there were other underage sailors, but I don't think there was any underage atheist or any atheist.
Underage atheist,
out
right.
of the closet.
When I enlisted, it was 1991. Atheist was not a category yet for dog tags or for your information, your personal information, but agnostic was. So originally, when I enlisted, my old dog tags say agnostic. About 10 years later, about 2000-ish, 2003-ish, they added atheism. So I switched my dog tags over. So that's about when it happened.
Yeah, well, they had never switched them over
Right.
when I was in.
Metroplex Atheists, we're both a member. We're both on the board of directors. How has this organization, here we are 2018, how has Metroplex Atheists, we're not the biggest organization in North Texas, but we're the oldest. How has this organization changed over the years?
Well, I think it's pretty basically the same. We've I don't know why we've lost members, but and I think that when we first adopted a highway, we had many people show up to pick up, and right now it's just so few that we're thinking about dropping
The Adopt Us Street, right? We had 6 show up last time. I've heard that there's been a lot more in the past have shown up to all the events, the Gay Pride booths that we do at the parades, the 4th of July parade, the solstice party. Our last solstice party, we had quite a few people, but you're right, membership is dropping off. Do you think we're not reaching the young people, or do you think everyone is getting older and just dropping off?
Well, I'm not sure, but a lot of them are just moving out of the area.
Oh, right.
A lot of the original members have left the area, and but I think that young people we're going to have more young people. But right now, they're not coming to the meetings.
Right. Has the attitude changed back then, or the purposes for having an organization like this? Why did you originally start getting involved in the atheist community and in these organizations? And do you feel that those organizations they've kind of lost some of their purpose, or are they still just as important now?
I think they're still a very important organization, and I think that they're important, and I really enjoy meeting with fellow atheists and working with them. And it's because for a long time, I knew there were other atheists, but I didn't know where they were meeting or anything.
Did you go a long time as an atheist before you knew that there were others?
Yeah,
About how long? Your entire time in the Navy?
yeah.
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 You didn't meet any other atheists while you were in?
Not as far as I know. Because I
Did you feel like something might be wrong with you, or you didn't have a support structure? Or?
No, I didn't. I never felt that there was anything wrong with my attitude about Christianity and or any of the religions. And there were so many different religions that the people, when I was real young and growing up, the church I went to, they didn't agree with a lot of the other churches.
Yeah, it's still like that.
Yeah.
Where would you like to see this atheist? We're in a group that is we are the activist group in this area. Now, other groups are social, educational, but we're the ones that do the protests and get our name out there and get on and do press releases. What made you choose an activist organization as opposed to just a social atheist organization?
Well, I like to be an activist. I've broken my hip twice and tailbone and cracked ribs and a broken arm, and I'm not able to get out like I would really like to. But I want to be able to get out and protest and show that there are atheists out here, and that it's welcome people to come to our business meetings and to our meetings, and I think that it's an organization that can help a whole lot of people.
Do you have any memories that pop out at you over the years of doing activism or in atheist groups and meetups, and any memories that pop out at you, like particularly funny things that have happened or outrageous things, or any just memories that you have of the?
No, I really everything seems pretty normal, and I've never had. Well, there was one time that I worked at one job when I was a truck driver, and I had the atheist fish, walking fish.
The Darwin, yeah.
And there was a couple of drivers that really tried to put that down. But
did they threaten you? Was it physical or?
Well, no, it was verbal.
Oh, just okay. But you felt intimidated.
Yeah.
That didn't really happen much. It was kind of.
That's the only two that I've ever really had. That and a lot of people didn't know that the atheist fish was an atheist fish. A lot of them thought it was a Christian fish.
Yeah, they didn't see the legs.
So I pretty well quit wearing that because.
You've lived in Texas your whole life, pretty much?
Well, I was born here, and my parents were born in a little town, Pilot Point, just north of this area.
Mm-hmm.
And my parents were born in that town, and I was born there.
And that's really the only run-in you've had with Christians? You're pretty lucky.
Yeah.
If you've gone this long and you've only had one run-in like that with Christians, that's really lucky.
Yeah.
Especially this area.
Yeah.
Have you made some really good friends in the atheist social circles?
Oh, yeah. Just really some great friends, great people.
Yep. I think, do you have anything else you'd like to add, or is anything you'd like to tell the the public any more about you, or
Well, I just think that a lot of people that see this may want to start coming to some of our meetings, and we certainly welcome them.
if they don't live in this area of Texas, there's an app called Meetup, the Meetup app. You can use it to find local atheist organizations in your area as well, wherever they are, and they're everywhere. If you're near a metropolitan area, you're going to find organizations to go to.
Yeah, when I first read about atheist organization, it wasn't this one, but another one in Dallas area. That it was a negative article that was written in the Dallas Morning News about them, but that's all I wanted to know was that there were atheists here, and so I started meeting with them, and then from them I learned about from some of the people that were members of that organization. I found out about this Metroplex Atheist, and I've been coming to this fairly regularly.
So it was a newspaper article that was printed negative information about another organization here, and it backfired because it got you in touch with that group, and you eventually found us.
Yeah.
So it actually,
I didn't know there was an atheist.
I wonder if they knew when they wrote that negative article that it would be a good way to get people. This was before the internet, I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
So that was. I wonder if they knew that they were giving us free advertising. You know.
I doubt it.
Right.
I don't think they thought that was. I think they thought it was going to be a very negative organization about the atheists.
That must have been a while ago, because
Yeah.
newspapers, when they talk about our group in the past, they're at the worst. They're neutral. You know, they just it doesn't. I don't feel like the media, except for conservative right-wing media,
Yeah.
you know, and even then, like Courtney, my co-host, she was on a AM Christian gospel radio station just recently, and they treated her great. Yeah, they had callers call in. They were respectful. She answered it. They didn't try to put her on the spot. She had a really good time. So, yeah, I don't know if that's typical, but
Yeah. We met at a televangelist church one time, and we were treated very nicely.
they knew you were atheists.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
We attended that meeting as atheists, and they treated us very nice.
Well, that's cool. Maybe there's some hope, right?
Yeah.
We went to a church south of here because we were seeing the flyers for it. They were billing it as an anti-homosexual sermon. They were going to talk about how being gay or LGBT is, how sinful it is. So we said we got to go to that. But half of us stayed pretty quiet, didn't let anyone know. There was a few that were outspoken and let everyone know that they're atheists. And I guess we weren't treated badly. We weren't treated well though, kind of neutral.
Yeah.
Which I guess is as good as can be expected, because there's a lot of the people that came down from our group were gay, LGBT. Anything else you'd like to add? Experiences in Metroplex Atheist, being an atheist.
Well, it's just a great organization, and I think I'd like to see more people coming to our meetings.
Okay. Well, James Hardwick, as always, it's a pleasure to listen to you talk about the old times, and I'm so glad that you're still a part of this, and we hope to have you for many more years to come.
Oh, I hope so.
All right. Take care now.